Brazil is buzzing with excitement as I'm Still Here has secured 3 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture. This marks a historic moment, Brazil's first ever nomination in this prestigious category. The film's impact goes beyond cinema, stirring conversations about the country's authoritarian past and its lasting effects. But what makes this movie so significant? And why is it sparking intense discussions in Brazil? The movie has ignited a nationwide conversation, with social media playing a crucial role in amplifying its reach. Clips of lead actress Fernanda Torres, known for her extensive work in Brazilian television, have gone viral, turning her performance into a cultural phenomenon. Adding to the excitement, Brazil's famous carnival is integrating the Oscars into its celebrations. In Rio de Janeiro, a massive screen at the Sambadrome will broadcast the awards ceremony live, allowing thousands to watch and celebrate in real time if the film wins. At its core, I'm Still Here revisits a painful chapter in Brazil's history: the military dictatorship from 1964 to 1985. The film sheds light on the forced disappearances during that era, a subject still debated in Brazilian politics today. The story begins in 1970 at the Rio de Janeiro beachfront home of the Piva family. The father, Rubens Piva, was a former congressman who had been forced into exile after the military coup in 1964. Hoping that Brazil had stabilized, he returned with his family. But beneath the surface, the regime had intensified its crackdown on opposition figures. Rubens Piva's fate reflects the brutal reality faced by many during this period. One day, military agents arrived at his home, claiming he needed to give a deposition. He left with them and was never seen again. His disappearance became one of the most well-documented cases of the dictatorship's human rights violations. His wife, Eunice Piva, played by Fernanda Torres, fought tirelessly to uncover the truth. For years, she demanded answers, seeking official recognition of his death. Her struggle symbolizes the plight of countless families who lost loved ones to state violence. The film captures the fear and oppression of the era: military vehicles patrolling the streets, helicopters overhead, and the ever-present anxiety of government surveillance. For many Brazilians, this is not just history, it remains a contentious topic. In recent years, political figures have attempted to reshape the narrative around the dictatorship. Former President Jair Bolsonaro, for example, referred to the 1964 coup as a revolution rather than a military takeover, downplaying its human rights abuses. This divide is reflected in how I'm Still Here is being received. Supporters of the dictatorship are reluctant to acknowledge the film's message, while moderates and progressives see it as an important reminder of history. Despite deep political divides, I'm Still Here has managed to cut through ideological barriers, reaching audiences who may have previously ignored or downplayed this dark chapter of history. Before the film's release, Eunice Piva was primarily known within activist and academic circles, her name recognized only by those deeply engaged in human rights advocacy. But now, her story, and by extension, the stories of countless other victims, has transcended niche discussions and entered the national consciousness. Media coverage has amplified this impact, with major news outlets, opinion pieces, and social media discussions dissecting the film's themes and their relevance. Today, conversations that were once confined to university lecture halls and human rights organizations are now happening in everyday spaces, at dinner tables, in classrooms, and across social media platforms. The film has sparked renewed debates about justice, accountability, and how societies choose to remember their past. For younger generations, the film serves as a stark revelation. Many are encountering Eunice Piva's story for the first time, realizing that the injustices she faced were not isolated incidents, but part of a broader systemic oppression. Her resilience has become a symbol of defiance, inspiring new discussions on civic responsibility and political engagement. Meanwhile, older generations who lived through this era are grappling with the resurfacing of painful memories, some finding solace in long overdue recognition, while others struggle with confronting a past they may have tried to forget. Internationally, I'm Still Here has also drawn attention to Brazil's historical reckoning. prompting comparisons to similar struggles in countries that have faced authoritarian rule and human rights violations. Film festivals and advocacy groups have used it as a platform to highlight the universal nature of political oppression, making it clear that Eunice Piva's fight for truth is part of a much larger global conversation. Is more than just a film. It is a catalyst for reflection, forcing audiences to confront uncomfortable truths and reconsider their understanding of history. By bringing Piva's story into the mainstream, the film ensures that the voices of those silenced in the past are finally being heard. As the Oscars approach, Brazil finds itself at a crossroads, celebrating a major cinematic achievement while confronting an uncomfortable past. If I'm Still Here secures a win, it will cement its place in history, not just as a film, but as a crucial part of Brazil's ongoing reckoning with its authoritarian past. Brazilian cinema has long been celebrated, but I'm Still Here has taken it to an unprecedented level. The film's Oscar nominations: Best Picture, Best International Feature, and Best Actress for Fernanda Torres mark a turning point for Brazil's film industry. Historically, Brazil has received recognition in the international feature category, with City of God and Central Station earning nominations in the past. However, I'm Still Here is the first Brazilian film to break into the Best Picture race, placing it among Hollywood's most elite productions. The film's success also highlights the growing global interest in Latin American stories. In recent years, movies like Roma and Argentina, 1985, have shown that audiences worldwide are eager for narratives rooted in real historical events. I'm Still Here follows this trend, offering a deeply emotional and politically charged story that transcends borders. Much of the film's emotional weight rests on the shoulders of Fernanda Torres. Her portrayal of Eunice Piva, a grieving wife turned relentless activist, has been widely praised. Critics have compared her performance to past Oscar-winning roles, drawing parallels with Meryl Streep's work in Sophie's Choice and Julianne. More in Still Alice. Torres' nomination has also brought renewed attention to the injustices suffered by women during the dictatorship. The film doesn't just tell the story of one man's disappearance, it highlights the struggles of those left behind, forced to fight against a government that refused to acknowledge its crimes. Her chances of winning remain uncertain in a competitive year, but her nomination alone is a victory for Brazilian cinema. If she does take home the Oscar, she will be the first Brazilian actress to win in a leading role. Despite its widespread acclaim, I'm Still Here has sparked controversy within Brazil. Political divisions remain strong, and the film's depiction of the military regime has reignited debates about the country's past. Supporters of Brazil's far-right political movements have accused the film of being biased, arguing that it portrays the military government in an overly negative light. Some conservative politicians have even dismissed the film as propaganda, claiming it distorts historical facts. On the other hand, human rights organizations and historians have praised the movie for shedding light on a period often downplayed in mainstream discussions. The film has led to renewed calls for justice, with activists urging the government to reopen investigations into unresolved cases from the dictatorship era. Regardless of whether it wins at the Oscars, I'm Still Here has already cemented its place as a cultural and historical milestone. The film has reignited national and international conversations about human rights, historical memory, and the responsibility of governments to confront past atrocities, not just in Brazil, but in societies worldwide grappling with similar massive audiences, with theaters filling beyond capacity and post-screening discussions spilling into the streets and social media. Many viewers have taken to online forums and editorial pages debating the film's portrayal of historical events, its emotional weight, and what it means for Brazil's present and future. Some hail it as a bold step toward truth and reconciliation, while others argue it forces the country to relive wounds that have yet to fully heal. For younger generations, I'm Still Here serves as a crucial introduction to a period that textbooks often skim over or omit entirely. Many students and young activists are seeing the past not as distant history, but as a force that continues to shape their country's policies, justice system, and social inequalities today. Some universities have even incorporated the film into their curriculum, using it as a tool to spark discussions on political repression, censorship, and civil rights. For older viewers, many of whom lived through the dictatorship, it is a painful but necessary confrontation with their own memories. Survivors of political persecution have spoken about how the film validates their experiences, giving voice to stories that were long silenced. families of those who disappeared during that era have expressed both gratitude and grief. As I'm Still Here brings their loved ones' struggles back into public consciousness. Beyond Brazil, the film has resonated with international audiences facing their own reckonings with historical injustice. Critics have drawn parallels to similar struggles in Argentina, Chile, and even outside Latin America, where governments have had to grapple with dark chapters of human rights violations. The film's impact extends far beyond the screen. It is not just a cinematic achievement, but a cultural reckoning, ensuring that history is neither forgotten nor rewritten to serve the interests of those in power. As the world watches the Oscars, Brazil stands at a pivotal moment. The country is not just celebrating a cinematic achievement, it is engaging in a broader discussion about its identity, its past, and the lessons it must carry into the future. If I'm Still Here wins, it will be more than just a triumph for Brazilian cinema. It will be a statement. A reminder that stories of truth, resilience, and justice deserve to be told, no matter how difficult they may be to confront. If you love powerful and thought-provoking stories that make you think, don't forget to subscribe. We bring you deep insights with every new video. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Your support helps us create more impactful content.